What? Sup, DGT? Wait, thinking of somebody else. DGC. Digital green tea. Wherever you are, shout out to you too. This is that game collector. What's up, man? All right, cool. I'm down. Let's see here. I don't know how to change the quality. Because I am streaming from my laptop, folks. What's up, Laker Link? What's up, Stitched? So my laptop doesn't have the best video card, so that's why I'm going to have a stuttering image. Because my PC is once again out of commission. Once again. What else is new? What's up, Stitched? Where is... Let's see if I can change it here. How's my audio, by the way? Is it popping or anything? No, I haven't dyed them. Not yet. I need to, because you can see some gray popping in there. Big brother bully. Get rid of that gray. I ain't ready to be gray yet, man. I ain't ready for that. So 2021 new Switch Pro. Yeah, new Switch. 2021. Probably not though. What's up, Review Tech Wii USA? Nah, man, I'm not ready to embrace it. Don't tell me to embrace it. I'm not ready for the grays yet. I need a few more years before I can let that roll out. But no, it's not gray. I need to wash because I think can't really tell. I'm trying to use the camera to see, but start to see some product build up. I think the beeswax starting to build up a little bit, so I need to really get in and wash it. All right, where was I going? Oh yeah. Gotta fix something here real quick before we get into these amazing topics. All right. Dang it. Where is... Oh, there it is. 1 second. What? 1 second. 1 second. Oh, did anybody say anything about the audio? How's my audio? Is it clean? Have you seen my Reggie video on my channel? No, I haven't, Master Yoshi. And I do once in a while pop up on your channel to see stuff. So I have not seen it though. I will check it out. Perhaps when I get off. All right, audio's good. All right, good. Because I have the ceiling fan going, and sometimes when I have the ceiling fan going, I get like popping for some reason. So I just want to make sure that's not the case. Why? Oh, there it is. There it is. That's what I'm looking for. Oh, come on. Change clothes and go. Gotta change my thumbnail because I set it up and it wouldn't let me go live through because I don't have on this laptop. I don't have streaming software, and this damn laptop couldn't really run that anyway. This is upgrade year, so I got to upgrade my laptop, upgrade my monitors, upgrade my camera, all that good stuff. So, all right, that looks good. There we are. Now we got it. All right, let's save it. Let's get out of there. All right. Yeah. So obviously I can't do like my snazzy intro and all that good stuff. But we'll roll with this. This will work. I just need to be streaming because I haven't streamed this so long. I've been waiting on my CPU for my desktop, and it's just been a pain. So, hey there, fools! I'm back with another Tea Talk. It's been a minute. Stupid computer. So it is what it is. Master Yoshi, it's awesome. Took the best things Reggie ever said on stage at E3 from 2004 to 2011, put them into one great compilation of what Nintendo is all about. Cool. Reggie says it best. I will check it out. I will. For sure. I'll leave a comment and like and all that good stuff. And share. All right. So, we got 20 people in there. That's cool. No Nintendo Switch revisions on 2020. Some YouTubers are going to give some explanations to their fans. No, they're not. No, they're not. It's been a long week. This is needed. Yeah, it's been a long week. Crazy week. I won't get into that other stuff. Obviously, I made my tribute video. I didn't realize how much this would bother me. It really has bothered me. So, but I'm just thinking like if this from somebody like me who doesn't know Kobe personally, doesn't know his daughter, family, and that personally, if this is bothering me as much as it's bothering me, I can't imagine how much it's bothering that people that are personally affected by it. So crazy stuff. I can't imagine. But yeah, let's talk games. All right, so I want to get up my graphic here so I make sure I get all the numbers right. I actually did a standalone video. I'll still put that out anyway. And it's everybody already knows the numbers by now, so there's like no point in doing a standalone video talking about the numbers. I'm kind of doing that, but I have a different angle. So now I lost it. Where is it? Where are you? Where did it go? It was right in this corner. Please don't tell me I deleted it. You've got to be kidding. Oh, there it is. Scared me. All right. So bring up the numbers here. So yeah, Switch at, what does it say? 52.48 million. That is amazing and surprising for some people, but I hate to, pull your own chain. What is it called? I'm so bad at remembering these sayings, but I hate to, pull my own chain or whatever it is. But when they revealed the Switch to be what it is, that reveal trailer, I said this thing's gonna sell great. It's gonna sell crazy. And then maybe a couple months after it launched, it hadn't really hit that crazy number, the crazy sales yet. Maybe let's say it was probably before E3 2017. I was like, this thing's gonna catch the Wii. And people were, oh, that's crazy. It'll never do that. I don't think it'll do that. And this is before all the prognosticating based on the numbers, because I was just looking at what it was and what it could do. I think it was probably after E3. It was probably like September-ish 2017, where I said this thing's gonna beat this. It's gonna beat the Wii U. Did I say Wii U? It's gonna beat the Wii in sales. Of course, it already beat the Wii U. It's gonna sell more than 101 million, which is what the Wii sold. And people, I don't know if it's gonna do that. I'm not sure. But now they're on my, they're on my wavelength now. So it is what it is. While I'm doing this, I can't see the chat, which kind of sucks, but I'll just get through the numbers and then I'll go back and see what you guys are saying. But yeah, so 52.48 million units of hardware sold, along with 310.65 million units of software, which is crazy because if you compare it to the 3DS, it's only about a little under 70 million units of software away. And it's not even 3 years old yet. And this is the life to date of the 3DS. So that's kind of insane. And, obviously it's about 23 million, 22 million behind 3DS 2 years in, which is, crazy. So, but not really. Like I said, it's a handheld, which Nintendo's always kills. And it's also a home console. So, and they merged the 3DS, development houses with the home console stuff. So now they can really streamline everything. So I just said, based on just like common sense, this is going to outsell Wii, and I still feel that way. I think sales will be still really stellar this year, and especially depending on what Nintendo puts out, we'll talk about that this year. But I think it's going to do great. So that's for the hardware. Maybe we'll come back to that in a minute. Let's move on to software. All right, here we go. So we're going to start with, I just had it and it went away. Back up. All right, here we go. Luigi's Mansion 3 at 5.37 million units. That is amazing. That is great. I believe that is the highest selling Luigi's Mansion game as of now. Maybe 3DS is close, or maybe still a little bit more. I don't know. I should have checked that out beforehand, but that's great. 5 million units, 5.37, almost 5.4. This to me is not so great, which is New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, a game that was a Nintendo Selects, which was a $20 game. Came to the Switch from the Wii U. They bumped the price back up to $60. Super Luigi U is also part of it. So, that's something that adds value to it, but it's still not a $60 game at this point. The game came out in, 2012? Fall, when the Switch or Wii U launched. So, It's an 8-year-old game, almost 7-year-old game. And it's one of the blandest. It's one of the more, not the game itself is fine. It's just the art style of the new Super Mario games is kind of bland and, for me, uninspired. And for this game to do that well, I mean, this is more than what Super Mario Maker 2 sold, and I find that bothersome. It's a reassurance, whether you like it or not. This is a reassurance to Nintendo. Yes, we can do this, and you can be happy about the sales, but I have a problem with that. So that's just me. But let's move on to the next one. Again, more reassurance. Super Mario Party, which is pretty bare bones. But it's at 9.12 million pieces. And that is disturbing, because a lot of people who bought it want DLC for it. I didn't buy it because it's just too bare bones to me. It's a shell of what former Mario Party games was to me. Again, quality is great. It's a quality title. It's just the content isn't there. And that's kind of been the thing for a lot of these kind of, for Nintendo's sake, A games or AA games, which is the Mario Party stuff. You could even throw like Kirby in there and Yoshi. It just haven't been there content wise. So, it is what it is, but that's a reassurance. So again, I don't care. Only thing I care about Nintendo selling well is for them to be able to sustain themselves and give me the games that I want. Super Mario Party selling 9.12 million is not going to give them the games I want. It'll sustain them. I mean, they made stupid profit off of this game. Obviously, it's not a game that cost them a lot in development, and it doesn't have a lot of content. So, good for them. And again, all I can do is hope that I get something out of it as a consumer, a Nintendo fan. And then we have a game that I love that's at this height is 9.8 or 9.81 million units for Splatoon 2. Beautiful. The game definitely deserves that. There's some stuff I wish the game had, like bots, so I can play offline. I wish it had the ability to do a LAN thing where you could play people like that. Unless I'm missing something that doesn't have that. But it's a great game. So that is great. Then we have Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee at 11.76 million. It has slowed down, most likely because Sword and Shield are out there now, and people are buying that, obviously. But yeah, this is their side game for a lot of people. But a lot of core Pokemon fans obviously bought it. So, again, I don't think the development costs were that much. They're making a lot of money off of that. That's a Pokemon company, so that's what they do anyway. So, moving on. Let's see, where are we now? Sword and Shield at 16.06 million. Again, a lot of people had problems with this game, and those people probably didn't buy the game. See, I've been hearing a lot of ha ha ha. What happened to this boycott? Blah blah blah. But the people who were saying they were going to boycott it probably still did. There just weren't enough of them. Pokemon fans are, for me, merging into what Sonic fans are. Yeah, that's how I feel. The resources for them to have better and all the stuff is there, but I don't know. Some people just don't like you messing with their happiness. They feel like you're messing with their happiness when you complain about something or you talk about what you feel are flaws in the game. They don't want you busting into that bubble of their happiness. And so they'll go completely off the rails on the other end of the spectrum. And so, obviously people who make complaints are going off the rails too on that end. But there were a lot of legitimate complaints about this game. But It doesn't matter. I'm not surprised. A lot of people apparently are surprised that it's still sold. Of course, it's so. It's a mainline Pokemon game on a super popular console. Of course, it's going to sell. And again, this is reassurance that this is all okay. So all that, trying to covet the developers. Oh, don't worry about those guys. We love you. We love what you're doing. None of that matters. You don't have to do that because these games sell anyway. That's, at the end of the day, that's all that matters to these people. So you don't have to love them. Next up, Breath of the Wild at 16.34 million. Great. Obviously, it's the highest selling Zelda game, as it probably should be. Obviously, it's on a popular console again, and it's a great game. Arguably the best. I can't call it my favorite Zelda because, again, I have that nostalgia. I guess you can call it nostalgia, impact-wise, for Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time, at least at this point, has impacted video games more than Breath of the Wild has, but we'll see in the future. We're only, 3 years removed from Breath of the Wild. We'll see if other companies pick up what Breath of the Wild has done to games. But I think, for me, impact-wise, Ocarina of Time was bigger. Z targeting, that's big. A lot of companies in some way still use that. So a lot of games. So yeah, that's great. 16.34 million. That is excellent for an excellent game. And then we got my baby, Super Mario Odyssey, at 16.59 million units. Beautiful. I love it. I'm over the moon about that. I love this game. It is probably my favorite game on Switch. It is a true Switch title. Not that there aren't more, but it just feels like this was definitely built for Switch. It was, it benefits with the gameplay style, with the heart collecting, with the moon collecting, and how that works, and how that really caters to a handheld style. This was definitely built for the Switch, and love this game to death. Production value is through the moon, through the roof. So great. Then we have Smash Brothers Ultimate at 17.68, which is phenomenal. The game's a little more than a year old now. But the DLC has been great. It's going to continue to be great, I think. And this game it's amazing. Like, it's probably my favorite Smash Brothers game at this. There's no doubt about it. It's my favorite Smash. And it's great. It's amazing. Great roster, nice new additions, Banjo and Kazooie. Come on, man. Gotta love that. So, and then you have a game I'm kind of torn on. Like, I'm Mario Kart 8 is what the game is. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And I bought it because there is actually a deluxe with this game, which is the I wanted a proper online battle mode and all that stuff for Mario Kart 8 on Wii U. We didn't get that, and they put it in this version, and they added stuff to it, like the items and stuff. So that to me was enough to go out and buy it again. But I don't know how I feel about it being the highest selling Switch game, because it's a Wii U game, and we obviously won't be getting Mario Kart 9 anytime soon. And that doesn't matter to people who didn't have a Wii U and didn't play Mario Kart 8, but I played the hell out of Mario Kart 8, especially at this point. We're talking years and years of these same tracks. And for me, the only joy to be had is in what they added extra, which is the battle mode. So that's why I said I'm just kind of torn on how I feel about it. I don't want it to be the highest selling. I don't mind it being a high seller, but it's not a Switch game. So that kind of bothers me. But that's it. So that's the highest selling game on the list. I also have some comparisons with X and Y being 16.44 million on 3DS. So very comparable to this is all the core Pokemon fans coming over and buying the Switch version, at least for the most part. There may be some other people as well, but the core Pokemon fans are definitely there for Sword and Shield. So yeah, and again, I'm not surprised. Pokemon fans do what they do, and they're gonna buy it regardless. They're happy and content with what I consider pretty minimal improvements, enhancements, and they're becoming Sonic fans to me. And that just is what it is. So yeah, I mean that's it for the numbers. So let's see what you guys are talking about. Let's see here. I didn't give shout outs anyway. I only gave shout outs to Master Yoshi. Thanks for joining. Laker Link. Who else is in here? Inglorious Bastards. Mario the M. Fearless Joe Bonsai. All you guys, thank you for joining. Santiago. Let's see here. Let's see. Let's see. I scrolled too far. Let's see. Thank you. Your own horn. Tooting your own horn. I don't need to toot my own horn. That's it. That's the saying. Thank you, Questioning Everything TV. Linker Link. It's only at 50 million. This is why they need a Pro so they can compete with PS5 and Xbox. Hello. Let's see. Thank you, Big T. I feel it's important people listen to Reggie. I'd love it if you made a video on it. If I could get a clean HD looking version of all the Nintendo E3s, I'd remake my Reggie video. Yeah, that's gonna be hard to come by because not all of them are in HD anyway. But let's see. Fearless Joe Bonsai says, unfortunately, based on the financials, common sense would predict that they'll be mostly mobile by the end of the decade. Yeah, Nintendo's going mobile, full mobile. And I don't get this whole, okay, at least at this point, physical copies, people still buy them at, I think it's around the 70-30. Maybe it's a little less than that. Maybe it's a little closer. Maybe it's 60-40 on digital versus physical. So a lot of people still buy physical. So we have a little bit, a good amount of time left for us to get physical games. And obviously Nintendo's doing stupid well with the Switch. There's no way they're going mobile only. And yeah, he's obviously Joe is being sarcastic because people think that just because, I mean, they made some good money on mobile this year or in the last fiscal year, whatever it is, or in the last year, like $1 billion. So that's obviously a good piece of change there. And I'm not sure if that's even counting their profits from whatever the cut is of Pokemon. What is it? Pokemon Go. So who knows? They could be at 1.5 bill. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I might as well go ahead and transition into that. Is that actually I want to also throw in EA. So let me finish what you guys are saying before I go into that. I'm glad Astro Train sold well. Me too. I would have liked it to sold more, but obviously it still sold well. Santiago, Nerf rollers, Nintendo. Santiago, hope that means we get sequels of AC, is it Animal Crossing in the future? Or am I missing something there, Santiago? I heard it was 74 physical. Okay, so 74 physical, 26 digital. All right, good. So I was right the first time. I should have stuck with that. So around 75-25. So Astral Chain. Derp. Yeah, I hope we get a sequel to that too. I hope they add some stuff to it. I probably should do a video on what I would want in a sequel to Astral Chain. That'd be a good video. Yeah. And it's a new IP, and it sold over 1 million. It's going to continue to sell. I think it'll land maybe close to 2 million, if not like right there at the end of the day when it's all said and done. So, hopefully that's the case. Could be 1.5 or something like that. Read why I said nerf rollers. Let's see. I have to back up a little more. Okay, so now I'm getting stuff I didn't see before in my chat. Thank you, Big T. Glorious bastards. I didn't see these messages before. I scrolled when I scrolled last time. Here we go. My new PC puts the PS5 and X to shame graphically. I play Nintendo because of how much fun the games are. I also love Nintendo's controllers. Nintendo and Super PC, and a Super PC is all I need. Master Yoshi over the moon with Super Mario Odyssey. Me too. You go over the moon and back to the Mushroom Kingdom in the game. So that's an awesome thing to say. Yeah, I mean that's why I said it was, a little bit of a jokey there. I'm the best at Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I just don't use roller wheels. Okay, I feel the rollers have been ruining the thing of the online experience for all who are new or don't use rollers themselves. Okay, that's what you're talking about. All right, I got you. My brain also goes straight to Animal Crossing when I see AC. Yeah, I mean that's what I got Animal Crossing on the brain, so that's what I think of when I see AC. So, or Assassin's Creed, but I don't really play Assassin's Creed all that much. So, but I kind of think of that. But yeah, so first let's throw EA out there because EA made a little statement, and I'm not sure where this statement came from. When I hear EA, I kind of tune out, but I'm kind of listening. So I don't know if they had some kind of meeting or something, but they basically what they said is, we don't care how many units Switch sells because we're mad because Nintendo games sell the most on Nintendo consoles, which has always been the case. Go back and look. NES, Super NES, Nintendo 64, GameCube, Wii, Wii U, Switch. Nintendo is always in the top 10 of their games sold. It's always been the case. So this is the most bogus reasoning, or quote unquote reasoning, for why they're not bringing their stuff over. I mean, how bitch made is that? You're supposed to be a multi-billion-dollar company. And I said this before. What you're saying is, we can't compete with Nintendo on Nintendo consoles, which is stupid to say because there are other companies. Okay, we just saw the numbers. What was it? 300 million, 310 million something software units sold on the Switch. What percentage of that do you think is Nintendo games? It ain't 50%. It ain't 40. It ain't 30. It's probably 10 to 20 tops. So that means a lot of third parties, non-Nintendo companies, are selling a lot of software on the Switch. So to come with that, pose their analytical reasoning when real analytics would show you that, yeah, it makes a lot of financial sense to put games on Switch. Yeah, like you have to be number one, like you are on PlayStation. You have to be the top selling game, the top 5 selling game on the system for them to worth your time. I mean, come on, man. That's insane. Their butt hurts still about something. I don't know what it is, but you know what? At the end of the day, I don't care. There's only one thing I care about when it comes to EA games on Switch, and that is Star Wars. Because I think it's utter bullshit that Disney allows They're allowing this. They allow EA to ignore Nintendo fans when it comes to Star Wars, and that bothers me. So I've been thinking about seriously like starting this petition to Disney, saying, to do something about how EA is ignoring this 52 million plus install base. Does that make good business sense for Disney to do that? To allow your IP to be cut off from 52 million users? I think they would listen to that. I think so. I'm going to do that. I'm going to, look into, wording it really well and all that stuff, and getting signatures and stuff, and doing all I can do, because I think it's bullshit. As a Star Wars fan and a Nintendo fan, I'm not allowed to have new Star Wars games on my Nintendo console because EA is blocking it. You're cool with that, Disney? I think that's bullshit. So that's my only only grievance, I should say, when it comes to EA. Activision as well, they're basically just putting, they're putting their HD remakes of Crash and whatnot on Switch, but that's about it. They're not putting any of their bigger games either. They're just ignoring the Switch as well, and that's fine. I mean, I don't give a damn about Activision or EA's games. So, other than Star Wars, because they had the lock on Star Wars, they had the license, and so I'm gonna try to get Disney's attention and see if they think that's cool, that they can block off that revenue stream for themselves, because they get money from the EA Star Wars games. I want to know if they think that's a cool business setup to be able to do that. So I'm gonna have to hit them up and see if that's what they want. So yeah. Let's see if you guys have added anything more here. Scroll back. My son came home, says Fearless Joe. My son came home from school trip today and sounded super exciting. His most poignant statement was, "I heard something this morning that hurt my soul." I asked what, obviously. He said that he'd heard another kid say they'd never played on a Nintendo. That's crazy. Crazy to me. Yeah, that hurts my soul too. All my students and whatnot, they know I'm a crazy Nintendo fan, and a lot of them are too, because they bring Switches to school, and I have to shut them down. Like, stop playing Switch in my class. So to not play Nintendo at this point, especially, it's kind of crazy. When you have Mario Kart selling 22 million, that's not only to Nintendo fans, you would think, and that's crossing over. So, yeah, that's crazy, Fearless Joe. That's crazy. Okay, let me scroll down here. I want Animal Crossing on Switch. Stitched. Me too, dog. Me too. Basically, Santiago says basically they are still salty about that Origin deal with Nintendo that never happened. I mean, that could be it. I mean, that surely could be it. And again, even without that Origin deal, this isn't new for. Maybe this is probably new territory as far as them ignoring a Nintendo console that is this popular, but they've been BS masters throughout the history of gaming when it comes to Nintendo. So the reason, again, GameCube, the reason you had Retro Studios working on a football game, and you obviously had Left Field and on basketball, was they weren't sure if EA was going to come play. And so they set up Retro Studios to make, the NFL title, because they weren't sure they were going to get Madden. So at the end of the day, they got EA to play, but EA did this on N64, they did it on GameCube. Wii was better, and they actually made games catered to the Wii, which I thought was cool. But for some reason, You know, and the Wii is different power wise as you know. It's not as different power wise to 360 and PS4 or PS3 as the gap between PS4, Xbox One is with Switch. So it has to be salt at this point. Yeah, EA did the same to Sega. I can't really blame them for Sega because EA was all in on Saturn early on, and they got burned on Saturn. Like Saturn didn't sell well, and they probably lost a good chunk of change there. And so if you were in business at the time, you see Saturn comes out and Sega's wishy-washy on supporting it, and then they're like 2 years in, they're like, oh, Saturn's not our future. We're working on Dreamcast. So I can see where EA was a little bit off with that. Actually, I'm fine with that because without that happening, we'd have never got 2K. We'd have never got NFL 2K, NBA 2K, and we wouldn't have the great 2K basketball game that we have today that has, its own, issues now with microtransactions and all that good stuff. It lost a little bit of my favor with that. But that at least created competition. It created that competition. NFL 2K was selling just as good as Madden to the point where EA was like, we're going to buy the license to get competition out of here. Because EA doesn't like competition. They've proven it before and they're proving it now. They didn't like the competition when it came to 2K football, and they don't like competition with Nintendo on Nintendo consoles. They like to be in the top 10, games as far as, they want they want Battlefield and all this, garbage that they put out every year. They want that in the top spaces. Call of Duty or Activision wants the same thing. If Call of Duty isn't number one on PS5, it's close. Or PS4, it's close. So, what's that? My alarm going off. Nice. What's that alarm? Oh, okay, good. Yeah. So EA doesn't like competition. They like to be able to run. They like to be able to run the table, and I think because Call of Duty was lost by Microsoft to PlayStation, I think they look to fix that by adding by making a good deal with EA, and so they let EA kind of do some bigger things on Xbox One. So they feel like they want to be able to do that with everybody's console, and Nintendo ain't about that, and so they're still salty about it, and they can live with it. I just don't understand the company. At the end of the day, it's about money, so I don't understand the company that that can just ignore 52 million plus units install base, and for the most part, it's true 52. Because it's not like there's so many variations out there that people have bought multiple Switches. You have multiple Switches in your household. That's because everybody has one. Like I have 3 Switches in my household because my 2 kids have one. So it's not, there's a slim version now or there's a super version of the Switch. That 52 million is almost 52 million different people. So for them to ignore that, that's insane to me. So did EA play? Not did EA play? Do you play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe online, T? If you do, look for the tiny tires called rollers. Yeah, I know the rollers. They're almost every skilled player is using just to win. I still win most races, but it's hard. From what I remember, the rollers are kind of slippery. I could be wrong. I can't. I play online once in a while, Mario Kart 8, but I'm so burnt out on Mario Kart 8 at this point that even the online, these little ants are driving me insane, and there's no reason for them being here. I don't eat in here. There's no sweets. It's just like this weird ant season around here, and they just pop up. Yeah, so I don't really play a whole lot of it at this point because I have way too much to play anyway. So I wouldn't. Santiago says I wouldn't put it past EA Oh, you're talking to Laker Link about what did Laker Link say? Did EA tell Microsoft to get rid of the sports games on the OG Xbox, or they would? Yeah, that actually is what happened. Yeah, Microsoft also, because EA was messing around, they went out and they got that NFL Fever game, and I don't think they had a basketball game, but they did have NFL Fever for a couple of years because EA was BSing, and because that competition, because NFL Fever sold pretty well, and they were like, oh. And because of that competition, they jumped in and was like, "Oh, we'll play if you guys stop making NFL Fever games." And Microsoft did, so that did happen. Stitch, eat the ants, show them who's boss, put some chocolate on them, chocolate cover ants. Yeah, so so here's my thing. My thing is, I don't, care so much as far as the install base to get companies like EA to bring games or anything like that. Because at this point, I mean, they already said they're not doing it. They don't care what your install base is. But there are a lot of smaller companies that do, obviously. So that's great. So you're getting, some 360 ports. But you hear once in a while you get new games. Outer Worlds really disappointed me by not being physical. I waited on that game for the Switch version. But I'm not buying a digital. I'm not buying a empty box with a code in it. $60. At this point, I'll just buy the game on my Xbox One, and have a physical copy because, I'm not. You know how I am. I like my physical copies. So at this point, that's where I am on that. And I was really looking forward to playing Outer Worlds on Switch, but not a digital version of it. No, and it's not even that big of a game because I think it's like 25 gigs on PS4 or something like that. Maybe more. Maybe it's 30. But anyway, they couldn't get it into a 16 gig cart. I think that's what they wanted to have it on, because they couldn't do that. I would have felt a little better. I mean, I don't like having to download part of the game either, but I would have felt a little bit better had they, I had to download 10 gigs or something. I would have felt a little bit better about that. Maybe I still would have went out and bought it, but like nothing, nothing. You're not going to spring for the cart at all, but you want to be in retail with an empty box? Nah, bruh. That really annoys me. And I'll just get, like I said, I'll just get the physical version for a fraction of the cost. I'm sure by the time I come around to buying the game, it'll be $25, $30. It's probably that now on Xbox. So I want my physical copy. So let's see. Santiago, yeah, I'm annoyed by the Outer World BS2. I'll just get it on PS4. I hope Bethesda doesn't pull the same crap with Doom Eternal. Yeah, I would be highly upset if Doom Eternal. The thing is, I plan on getting Doom on either PC or Xbox One anyway. But I was still going to get the Switch version anyway, extra, because I didn't want to wait. But I could wait because Animal Crossing comes out and I could play that and be content with that for a while. And I have still backlog. So, but either way, I'm going to get both versions, either PC and Switch or Xbox One and Switch. So we'll see what happens with that. Master Yoshi, I play Worldwide once in a while just to see all Japanese, and I think I play Worldwide most of the time when I play online Mario Kart. But yeah, so that's that. Switch is selling great. I'm not surprised. Again, I'm not surprised because I said it when I saw the Switch revealed. There's no way Nintendo's going to put out a handheld that you can also play on the TV and it not sell stupid. Of course it's going to sell stupid. As long as the games are there. And I knew the games would be there because of, again, how they set up. They merged the software houses. So it was a no-brainer. Now, speaking of that, my like I said before, my hope with the Switch selling as well as it does is that Nintendo brings more games to the Switch, because some people will disagree with me. First party wise, the strength isn't quite there. And maybe that part of that is, wasn't like we had a lot of great first party games either. But the Switch is more of a quote unquote traditional gamer console setup. So I would like to see some N64 levels, GameCube levels, first party, like just stellarness. Yeah, I made that word up. It's time. There's no risk at all to putting out F-Zero on Switch. None. There's no risk. F-Zero has always sold over 1 million copies, even on hardware that didn't sell as well as the Switch. I don't know what N64, when the F-Zero X came out, N64, it was, what did N64 sold at that point? 15 million units, maybe 20. Same goes for GameCube. GameCube sold 21 million total, and that version sold over 1 million copies, 1.5, I believe. So I don't want to hear this nonsense from Miyamoto about, oh, we don't have a thing, for us to warrant giving a F-Zero game, because why is that the stipulation for F-Zero? You don't have to have a thing for putting out a new Yoshi game. Yeah, you have a visual difference, but not much in the gameplay department. Kirby doesn't have to have a thing to keep getting sequels to that. You just put Kirby out there. There's nothing new. Star Allies, yeah, you can have buddies. That's not like a new mechanic that, oh, we got to make a new Kirby game because we got this cool new mechanic. No. So why is that stipulation on F-Zero? You know what the advancement in F-Zero could be? 32 players online. And that could be done because you had games on Wii that were 30 players. What was it? Medal of Honor. You could play in 30-player arenas and that was on the Wii. What did the Wii have? 100 megabytes of RAM? Like, what did it have? It didn't have a lot. So the Switch could definitely do that. You want to make an advancement on F-Zero, do it in the online setup. Bring the track editor that the 64DD version had, if you want to bring something new to F-Zero. Flesh out the story stuff. Flesh out more characters than Captain Falcon. We all know Captain Falcon at this point. Flesh out, what was his name? Goro. Let's flesh out some of these other guys. There's a lot of them. So there's a lot you can do with F-Zero. So don't tell me that there's not a lot you can do. And again, the games have always sold 1 million plus units. So, and there's no, what do you call it? Worries as far as, you weren't about a loss, because that's not going to happen on Switch install base and all the fans wanting it. The buzz will be crazy about it. Just like Banjo and Kazooie and Smash, the buzz was so crazy about that. That's the kind of buzz you're going to get from a new F-Zero or a new Wave Race. Like, this is the stuff that should be coming out on Switch at this point. We're entering year 4. We haven't hit, the 3-year mark yet, but we're entering year 4, and that's the kind of stuff you'll have. It looks like I have some, I don't know, what do you call them? Tips? Super chat? I don't have super chat, so I'm not used to getting them, so I gotta definitely read them. Oak City Gamers, Here's a sandwich on us, man. Sandwichite. All right, thank you. $1.99 donation there. Thank you. Shadow boxing. That's cool. I like how you spelled that. It's funny how Miyamoto says he doesn't know what else to do with F-Zero, but he still found a new way to remake. Thank you. I almost forgot that, Shadow boxing. Thanks for the $20 donation too. Yeah. How many times have they gone back to the well with F-Zero with Star Fox? And yeah, he'll say, for Star Fox, especially Star Fox Zero, he'll say, "Oh well, we had a new control setup," but Star Fox didn't need. Like, I didn't mind it. I can understand people who didn't like the control setup for Star Fox Zero. They found it distracting. I get it. I totally, because it took me a while to figure it out. And a lot of people their muscle memory for Star Fox is what it is. So a lot of people didn't want to retrain themselves, which I understand completely. But so outside of the control setup, you have, the same damn game, the same world, the same setup, the same kind of feel, because you can't seem to advance beyond Star Fox 64. You need help? I'll write the damn script for free. That's how much I love Star Fox. It's not that hard to advance Star Fox beyond what you've done. You just got to get out of your own box, Mr. Miyamoto. We love you. I love you. You're the greatest game developer of all time, hands down. But you get stuck in these little boxes sometimes when you come to thinking about your games. And Star Fox is very easy to advance. You saw some of that with Starlink. You could do some of that. I don't think all that stuff should be Star Fox, but there is some advancements you could take from Starlink. I would get that team. I'm sure they're probably in hot water with Ubisoft, because the game didn't sell well, and that's what they do. It wasn't the business model, and I'm sure this company didn't make the business model. I'm sure that was Ubisoft's decision how they business modeled that game. But they get thrown under the bus. So if I were Nintendo, the fans want a Star Fox. We want F-Zero. Partner with companies like them. Partner with whoever made Starlink to make the next Star Fox. And oversee it and all that good stuff. But they can see what you can't see, Nintendo, in your box. And F-Zero, the same thing. What's the company that made Fast RMX? They actually have the voice guy from F-Zero in that damn game. So give them some more people. Give them a little bit of change. They already have it. They have, they can go and reconstruct F-Zero for you. They're already on the right path. It can't be that expensive to do that, especially when you're selling 22 million damn copies of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, a game that's basically pure profit at this point. You're probably making $45 a game sale on that game. So come on. Don't tell me you can't do it. You can do it. The fans want it, and we will buy it. It will sell 1 million+ units. It's F-Zero, the storied franchise. So come on. Let's get real. Santiago, Golden Sun, Punch Out, Kid Icarus. Come on. Why don't we have this? And again, here's the thing. Here's the caveat. The next Nintendo Direct, or by the time E3 comes out, all this stuff can be a thing. And this whole spiel I'm going on right now can be completely a wash. It could be a completely waste of my time. And you guys are already got this stuff in the works. But as of right now, we don't know that. And so I'm voicing this opinion that this is stuff that we should be getting. Yes, Golden Sun, Punch Out, Kid Icarus, even Battalion Wars. Throw that in there. You guys have great storied franchises that have done well on hardware that sold nowhere near as well as the Switch is selling and is gonna sell. So why can't we get, some love for these franchises that fans want on this system? This should be the most Nintendo console ever. Because it's just so perfect for that. It's so set up for that. And I hope Nintendo understands this and knows this and has companies working on these things. And especially with development, you have indie developers out there now who grew up on these games, who make homages to these games all the time. Go give these people a little bit of money, fund them, let them do it. You don't have to do it all in-house. These guys know how to make quality games. Put a guy or two on them, to head the team, to supervise the team, Nintendo supervisor, and let them roll. And you're going to get some great stuff. What's up, Renee? Yeah, Shinin. Thank you, Retrofaction. Shinin, they're already ready to make a F-Zero game. Let them do it. Give them some backup. Let them do it. Instead of wasting time with Bandai Namco for Metroid, that was a complete waste of time. And this is a company who's been around a while. If you're going to do that, hell, let some of these other companies jump in and make games. I would love to see, this is not up to you completely, but I'd love to see a sequel to Mario plus Rabbids. Love that game. That game sold pretty well. What, 2.5 million? It deserves a sequel. I would love to see that happen. I have a feeling that they will announce a sequel for that game. But that's not a Nintendo in-house game. So, yeah. So, like I said, if you really look at it, there's not a whole lot of Nintendo-made games on the Switch. I mean, just like Nintendo in-house games. And I kind of don't count Monolith Soft. I do count the Fire Emblem crew as in-house. Monolith Soft obviously is a first-party studio for Nintendo, but I just meant like, I don't even know what they call themselves now, because they used to be EADs. It used to be so easy to say what they do. But you have the crew who made ARMS, who usually make the Mario Kart games, so they don't have to do Mario Kart at this point. Not when you're selling 3 and 4 million units of Mario Kart in a year. Still, like, there's no reason to make Mario Kart 9, because you're gonna muck up that what do you call it? Why would you want to mess with those sales by throwing a new game out there? Especially, you obviously have to do the development. That's going to be a cost, marketing and all that. When you have a game that, still to this day sells itself. People buy a Switch and they buy Mario Kart 8, a Wii U game. So, yeah, at this point, I want to see storied franchises. I want to see this be, like I said, the most Nintendo console. Where are the Mario sports titles? Especially with EA messing around. Where's Strikers and Slugfest? Is it Slugfest, the Mario baseball game? Those were pretty big selling games on GameCube and Wii, and it seems like you guys just forgot about them. And you give us Mario Tennis Aces, which I didn't think it was the ace. I just thought the content wasn't there. It's a very solid as far as quality game, but I don't feel like it's up to where my standards of what Mario Tennis used to be. And like, I feel that same way about Mario Tennis, feel that way about Super Mario Party. It's just not there. It's not quite there. Quality-wise, it's a quality game, but the content is not really there for me. So instead of making that stuff, give us, Strikers, give us those great, titles you used to have on consoles that sold nowhere near what this one is selling. Where's the effort? I want to see the effort. And again, I hope to be shut down in the next Nintendo Direct or by the time E3 happens. Although I do hate the fact that they squeeze everything at the end of the second half of the year. I wish there was more coming out this part of the year, and not just Wii U ports that nobody wanted on. They didn't really buy on Wii U, and they ain't getting on Switch either. Unfortunately, Tokyo Mirage Sessions is not going to be a big seller on Switch, and I think that just has to do with the game. The game is great. I just think the aesthetics of the game, the whole J-pop thing. I don't think a lot of gamers want that. So that was an experiment that didn't work out. The other ones have mostly worked out. I would say Tropical Freeze. I'm glad it sold what it sold, but I think that game could have sold 5 million copies on Switch. I would have bought it. If it was $40, I'd have rebought it. But they just overpriced this stuff. And that's fine with them because they're making the profit from it. So, but I just think they could do better. Some of these pricing things that they do. So, let's see what you guys are saying. Star Tropics. Yeah, Star Tropics. Like Star Tropics is basically, you know, I don't know if they want to put that budget into it, but it's a Zelda game in modern times, in a modern setting. So I don't know if they would want to put the budget out there for it, but I would love to see it. I would love to see a big kind of open world-ish action RPG made by Nintendo. That's a modern game. That would be dope. Like I would love to see that. Let's see. Master Yoshi NES Revolution, SNES Evolution, N64 Revolution, GameCube Evolution, Wii Revolution, Wii U Evolution, Switch Revolution. So the next system from Nintendo will be an Evolution. Yeah, I mean, most people think Master Yoshi, and I don't disagree that the next system from Nintendo will be another Switch, a more powerful Switch. Maybe they'll add some new feature here or there, but the smartest thing for them to do is to make a more powerful Switch. That's what I would do. 1080p or even 4K if they can get that. I don't know if Nintendo would push for that. They might offer some games in 4K, and I don't feel like they have to, but. I mean, a lot of games on Switch are 1080p, but a lot aren't. A lot of the ports of current gen games. So, yeah, I mean, that would be the smartest thing for them to do is to do another evolution, and I think they will. I think it will be an evolution. I need to do a update video on that. I keep saying I will, but I need to really do that. Let's see. Nintendo should outsource some IPs, especially the ones they don't use. Yeah, I totally agree. Especially the ones they don't use and the ones that other companies would be good with. Like maybe they won't be good at making a modern action RPG. Maybe some other company would be better at them than doing that. And they should look into that. I mean, there was talk about them looking at Criterion for F-Zero on Wii U, but Criterion was busy at the time with Need for Speed Most Wanted. So they were trying to do that. I wish they would have been able to do that back then, but they couldn't. Nintendo Shadow Boxing says Nintendo needs to talk to developers for Last Story and Pandora's Tower for HD remakes. That would be great. Yeah, I would love to see that. Yeah, I mean, you're already bringing Xenoblade Chronicles over, and those two games were part of that Operation Rainfall, and a lot of people miss those games. A lot of people don't even know What Last Story is, or Pandora's Tower, and those would be great games on Switch as HD remakes or remasters even. Doesn't have to be a remake. I'd love an HD remaster. I'd totally run through both of those games again on Switch. That would be great. I think they would sell really well. I think they would sell well. I think they would speak to a lot of the audience on Switch. So I wish they would do it. Let's see, Renee, remember when Nintendo reached out? Oh, I just said that. That's funny, Renee. I read the Star Tropic thing already, so let me move on down. See, this thing jumps. It's like jumpy. Let's see. I love Mario. Master Yoshi, I love Mario plus Rabbids. Kingdom Battle 2, the Donkey Kong DLC should have been worked on a bit more and came out as a full sequel. It would have been called Donkey Kong plus Rabbids Jungle Battle. That's dope. I like that. That's a cool idea and name. Yeah, I agree. That would be cool if they would have added a little bit more to it. But it was good DLC, you know. Shadowboxing, I always thinking that Star Tropics should be remade into HD, tighter controls like how Link's Awakening, but with better. Ooh, I don't know why I didn't think about that, but yeah, I wouldn't mind it being the way it is. It doesn't have to be a big open world. It could just be what Link's Awakening remake was. That kind of look to it. That would be cool too. I'd be down for that for sure. The only Wii U port I want is Fatal Frame. Yeah, man. I don't know if that's the only one I want at this point. Probably at this point. I mean, I would like a Wonderful 101 or maybe a Wonderful 102. I'd definitely play Wonderful 101 again on Switch. But the only Wii U port you said would be Fatal Frame. That needs to happen because we didn't even get a physical copy of that game. In the West, I think it only in Japan it came out physically. Somebody said it came out in PAL version. A PAL version came out physically, but I looked, I couldn't find it. Maybe I just couldn't find it anywhere. Because I totally would have bought it. But yeah, I would be so down with Fatal Frame 5 on Switch. I don't know why that's not a thing. You're gonna bring a Wii U port over. Bring that. A lot of people didn't play it because it was digital only. So let's see. I was thinking of that. Oh, I read that already. 5 million if it was $40. I think you're talking about Tropical Freeze. Yeah, I think it would have sold that easily if it was $40. Because I would have bought it. I would have re-bought it, no doubt. I was only joking about Star Tropic. You were only joking. Oh, I thought you were. Were you the one that said? Oh, maybe it was somebody else. Okay, that's cool. Let's see. I love Crystallis a lot more in the start. Crystallis was dope too. Yeah. I don't know if I liked it more, but I think it was a pretty awesome game on NES. Master Yoshi. One stop. What's up, man? 52 million. That's not bad at all. Family, good to see them keep pushing. Yeah. Nintendo's they're doing the thing. They're doing the thing sales wise. They have some small things that's keeping this system from being truly great. Like truly great. And I just wish they would address those little things on around the edges. They're nagging to me. It nags me that they don't fix these things. Let's see. I was hoping to see more such or games such as 3DS. What happened to the 3DS specific developers? Exactly. You might see a video about that from me soon. I was expecting more than what we got so far. But again, I'll get into that in that video. Renee, Retrofaction, dude, afraid of frame Oh, I think you're saying Fatal Frame collection would be the bomb. Yeah, it'd be great. That would be a great thing. Oh yeah, then you did fix it in the next comment, so that's cool. All right, so Santiago, Japan and limited in Europe for Fatal Frame. Okay, so it was limited in Europe. That's why I couldn't find it, because I looked, bro. I looked for that game, and I still can't find it. I looked not too long ago for it, and I couldn't find it. PAL had one, but it was special edition. Okay. Master Yoshi Xenoblade Chronicles X needs a Switch port. More people need to enjoy that masterpiece. I agree. I mean, I wouldn't buy it on Switch, at least not until I can get it for cheap, if that ever happens, for the collection. But yeah, because the gamepad, take the gamepad out of that game, and I don't like it as much. It's still a great game. Don't get it wrong. It's still a game that is great. But that gamepad advantage, and you know what I'm talking about there, Master Yoshi, was a bit much for me to give up for the Switch version. So yeah. All right. So let's move on into Switch Pro. Oh man, Switch Pro. Nintendo pretty much just killed, at least in 2020, and it doesn't make sense for it to come out in 2021. You're moving into next console territory. So Switch Pro in 2020, Nintendo says no. I believe that's the investor meeting. They said no new hardware, no new Switch hardware, no Switch revisions in 2020. And I don't think they'd be lying about that in that said meeting, because it's for investors. So unless they told investors ahead of time, hey, we know this is going to be a public thing, so we're going to say we're not making a new Switch Pro. You guys just go along. Yeah, I don't think that's the case. So no Switch Pro. I'm fine with it. I'm glad. I'm actually happy to know, because I don't want to go through the whole year of Switch Pro rumors. I still think some people will try to get the clickbait out for that. But I'm happy to know that. So I do wish I knew about features for the Switch. If they said, oh yeah, we got new features coming for the Switch that fans will like, I wish I would know information on that. Because I plan on modding my Switch at this point. It's like I plan on overclocking it because it's hard for me to enjoy Witcher on the TV, Witcher 3 on the TV, because it's so blurry. It's not crazy blurry, but it's just blurry enough from somebody who's played it on Xbox One. It's hard for me to get past it. So that game is kind of pushing me to overclock my Switch and get some of that tap potential out of it. And I also want themes. I want themed backgrounds. I want folders, and these hackers are doing some crazy stuff with that. And I don't want to. I'm not downloading games to it. I don't want to emulate it. I don't want any of that emulators. I don't want none of that. All I want is themes, a way to back up my saves. It's something that's also achievable now with hacking. So I want to be able to back up my saves. I want themes, and I want to overclock the system so I can get a little bit more out of it as far as resolution for those current gen ports. And I do believe CD Projekt Red or somebody, I don't know if they're the ones who ported it or not. They said a patch was coming. So there might be a patch coming that allows you to get to that menu that hackers already got to, but they get to that menu to basically it's the PC menu. It allows you to change your textures and not textures, but up the frame rate, up the resolution, or at least the anti-aliasing and all that kind of stuff. So I hope to be able to do that soon here. All right. So Renee, digital green tea has an unboxing for Frito Frame PAL version. Why did not remember that? I'm sure I saw it. I bet I saw it, but I just don't remember. I used to watch his videos all the time, his unboxing. So I gotta go check that out. I already beat Xenoblade Chronicles X. I love the Gamepad Advantage too. I won't get it on Switch either. I just want more people to play it. Yeah, same thing with Shin Megami Tensei, or not Shin Megami Tensei, Tokyo Mirage Sessions. I'm not gonna get it on Switch, but I just wanted. I was happy to see it come because I want more people to play it, and unfortunately, people just don't care to play it. So sadly, that's the case. But yeah, it's just too bad. So I'm not sure if we'll get Chronicles X. I don't know. We might. It'd be nice to have all those games on one system, especially after you get the HD version, HD remaster of, or is it a remake? I'm not sure. I'm guessing it's a remaster. They haven't really clarified it, have they? Of Xenoblade Chronicles, the first one. So it'd be nice to have all the Xenoblade Chronicle game on one system. I read that already. Cough, Dave, cough. You got it, Santiago. You got it. And there's no consequences. That's what bothers me. There's no consequences for getting all this stuff wrong, all this fake speculation, and all these details about nothing, completely pulled out of your ass. You know, speculation. And speculation is fun. I get it. But it's just like, at what point do people stop believing it? What point do you have to have consequences for all this hype that leads nowhere? He hasn't had it yet. I mean, sure, people have made fun of him for certain things, but he still gets a lot of views. For his install base, he gets a lot of views for just speculation that never leads to anything. I don't think he's been right on anything at this point. So, but people get giggly hype about this stuff, and I don't know. Super Dave is still clickbaiting out, claiming Nintendo is lying. Is he claiming they're lying now? They didn't have to say anything on Switch Pro. They didn't have to lie about it. They could have just said nothing. They said it because they wanted their investors to know that they're not making anything. They want their investors to know that they're not making anything. They're not going to lie to their investors because they're the ones who invest in the company. So, what? Some YouTuber, with the, as far as YouTube goes, a pretty small install base or subscriber base has more information on Nintendo than Nintendo does. Like, of course, I'm not like a lot of people. A lot of people hate the guy. I'm not like that at all. I just don't understand, especially for somebody who didn't think the Switch was going to do well, especially for somebody who saw the Switch and was like, "What is that?" For that person to be like, all gung ho and crazy about Switch and the potential of a Pro. Nintendo is not making a Pro. Like, I gave up on that. I mean, it wasn't like it was something I was looking forward to, but I gave up on the speculation that they would do it last year when they didn't do it. I was just like, why do it now? Why not do it? Or if you're going to do it, why not announce it and have it out by, let's say, March, because that's, 3 years of Switch. You don't introduce, a revision later than 3 years. I don't think it's smart. I don't think that's smart business. So, yeah, it's crazy. Did you see the Animal Crossing Switch? It's very cool looking. This reminds me of the old N64 variety colors. Yes, I saw it, Renee. It looks really good. I want to buy it, but I'm not going to. And I'm sure in the future I'll be regretting that decision. But I mean, it's going to be hard to find anyway. And but I am in the market for another Switch, so because I want to get the better battery life one, and I want to have one that I can mod and not worry about. So let's see. Inglorious Bastards comment was hidden, so let me unhide it. Or at least it's pending. These ants are driving me insane. I was thinking of adding games to my NES and SNES classics. Yeah, I've done that, Master Yoshi. I've got pretty much everything I want to play on it. Xenoblade is a remake. Okay, Santiago. That's what I thought. I couldn't remember. Renee, I just remember Fatal Frame is called Project Zero and PAL. He still has the unboxing. Yeah, Project Zero. I remember that. Master Yoshi, I don't care for the overly fantasy style of Xenoblade 1 and 2, but I love the real style story of Chronicles X. Yeah, me too. I love the whole future tech and the mechs and all that stuff. And I really like Xenoblade Chronicles, the original, and I don't like 2 as much, but I still like it. Xenoblade Chronicles 2. But X is my favorite for sure. One of the reasons I unsubbed Super Metal Dave, too many rumor and speculation videos and not enough news and game coverage, plus his fan base made my anger rise just from debating with them. Yeah, I mean they're in a bubble over there, man. Shadow boxing. So it's sad. I mean, I can't remember what he did before this rumor stuff. But this stuff gets him the views. So, and I would like to think that that's not the only reason he does it. I just think I like to think that he is really interested in tech and stuff, but that ain't it, Chief. When it comes to Nintendo, like they ain't about that really anymore. They're about smart tech that works really well for them. So. I unsubbed Super Metal Dave years ago. Welcome to the party, says Master Yoshi. Am I subbed to him anymore? I'm not sure. I haven't seen one of his videos in over a year. So, I mean, I'm guessing I'm not subbed. I don't know. I mean, I still see like his videos in my feed, but I think that's only in my home screen. So it's in recommended. Because I watched his videos before, and that's all it takes for YouTube. You've seen one video, and they'll keep feeding you until you click on again. Wish I would do that for my channel. I might buy that Animal Crossing Switch. Yeah, go for it, Renee. If you can do it, man, I would do it. I like it. It's dope, and it's definitely going to be an expensive collector's item one day. So. That's also cool. Not that I would ever sell it, but I like my game collection to have some good value. And it's just for me internally. So yeah, I don't think there's going to be a Switch Pro. It doesn't make sense for Nintendo to lie about it, and it doesn't make sense for a Switch Pro to come out in 2021. I think you're working on, I think 2022. By 2022, there'll be a new Switch. There'll be the next Switch out by then, and Nintendo's smart. They don't want to, rest on the laurels for too long, and like they did with Wii, they waited too long for the next console to come out. So hopefully they'll fix that. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense at this point. I think they're just better off, what I'm going to do, what hackers have done, which is overclocking the system to somewhat. Overclock the system, And maybe your revision will be internal. Maybe you make the fan a little better, so it'll be a better coolant. You do something with the heat sink, that kind of stuff. And then you do an update on all switches. That's a software thing. You do that on a software level, and if you want to reinforce it because it will be outputting more power, then you do that. They already got the new battery, the longer battery. So that helps. And then they maybe do something to revise the cooling system. And that's it. You don't need a more powerful switch at this point because, it doesn't make financial sense to do that. Let's see. Master Yoshi, I have to go to work now. It's been really fun, Big T. Have an awesome day. Thanks for dropping by, Master Yoshi. Appreciate you. And I will definitely go check out your video on Reggie. Might make my own too, like you said. I might do that. RT Wii USA Super Metal Day 64 is very fun to watch. It's like a reality show. It's just fun, but not always real. Oh man, it's funny. Yeah. Again, I have no ill, because some people do. Some people can't stand the guy. I have no ill feelings about him. He's all right with me. I just, he needs to get off of that. That tech stuff that he keeps pushing when it comes to Switch. It's time to let it go. Let it go and walk away. Let's see. Bye, Master Yoshi. What was my final topic? I didn't put it in my. I did not put it in my title, but I should have wrote it down. Damn it. What did I want to talk about? There was one more thing I wanted to talk about before bouncing. No, I can't remember. Okay, so we have Switch sales. We have Switch Pro. Oh, I think I kind of talked about it already. It was basically what I want Nintendo to do because of the sales. Despite what these big third parties are going to do, and we pretty much went into how I would like them to, outsource their IPs. There's a lot of really good indie companies out there. So, I wanted to relay with you guys a little story. I don't think this is the topic, but today, Friday, it's Saturday now, technically, in the U.S. on the East Coast. Still Saturday on the West Coast. But I caught some students in my class. They were using a computer, and they hacked. They had some hacked version of Untitled Goose Game that they were playing. I think it was on a browser. And I was kind of observing. I was walking around the class, observing to make sure it was what I saw. Because there's like Flash knockoff versions of games, and I wanted to make sure it wasn't that. Because I don't care about that. Like they play some like Super Flash Brothers or something that uses Smash characters. It's like a 2D game, and it looks like Smash, but it has like Goku and all other kind of characters in it. So I think it's kind of cool. That's fine to me. That's just like some fan kind of rendition of Smash Brothers using even Smash characters on a two. The characters, your fighters are 2D sprites. I think that's kind of cool to see Smash in that light, where you're fighting with 2D sprites of all these characters that are in the actual Smash game. That's cool to me. But after I realized that, no, this certainly was Untitled Goose Game, that it was the real thing. I watched it. I scolded the hell out of those kids. And I scolded them, and I wrote them up. Because you are stealing. and I'm not about that. There's one thing when it comes to emulating. I emulate old games. I'm talking about like NES, Super Nintendo games that Nintendo can't make money off of anymore. I mean, technically they can because of like Nintendo Switch Online, but I pay for Nintendo Switch Online, so you know a lot of those games are on there. Some of them aren't. Some will never be. And nobody's making money off them, so I don't care about those. I'm talking about this is a new game, and not only that, it's from an indie company, and that's something near and dear to me because I'm an indie filmmaker. I know the grind of putting something together with your blood, sweat, and tears, your own money. You're like missing meals to do it. You're cutting corners to be able to afford it and work on this thing and give it your all. And to have somebody, you're not EA, you're not some big company that can take that kind of hit. You're a small indie company. And yeah, I think the game sold over 1 million at this point, but they deserve every stinking dime they should get because of, the process of indie filmmaking and what it means to these filmmakers or filmmakers, indie game design and game creation. And so I mean, I was pissed off to the point where I was like visibly hot. I had to turn the fans on in the classroom because I was that mad about it. And I was mad because they didn't seem to understand the gravity of it. Like it missed them. Like they didn't understand. And so I thought this is a teachable moment. I'm not just going to be mad, write them up. I took the time to sat down and explained it to them why you shouldn't be doing this. That's what I did. I explained to them why it's wrong, how you're affecting them differently than you would affect a bigger company like an EA. And not that, and it's only, I would have did the same thing if it was a big game, a new game. They wouldn't be able to do that on, school computers anyway. It would have to be an indie type of title because the school computers wouldn't run a new big game. But the point was, don't be stealing, especially on school time, on my time, and on school property. I was mad about that enough, but then it was also the principle of the matter that got me upset. So wrote them up, but I explained to them because I didn't want them just to walk away mad because I wrote them up. And they seemed to be visibly shaken and ashamed about what they did. And, maybe in the future they won't do that again. So, and that's what you got to do. You got to do that when you have these teachable moments. You have these rare moments where you can explain something to somebody and they're listening and you can get through to them instead of just being mad and, basically cutting off the conversation. Start the conversation. So that's what I kind of did. So, yeah. Inglorious Bastards asks, T, are you ever going to play Undertale? Yes, I am. Actually, either today or tomorrow, going to buy, what's his name? They have the skin, the character. Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank because I'm on camera and I always do that. But you know what I'm talking about, in Smash. And I had planned on getting Undertale this month, or we're not in February, but in February, because I felt like that was a good time to really get into that game and give it, my attention. So yes, I will be getting Undertale within the next couple of weeks. I'm going to play it and run through it. I have students telling me all the time about Deltarune. Have I played Undertale? And I want to be able to say, yes, I have. So I will be getting it in a couple of weeks. And because it looks great and I want to play it. Let's see. We got another one from Shadowboxing that is pending. So let me click that. I just went back to look at Super Metal Day 64's channel. amid videos, the thumbnails to his videos look very crap gamer. Yeah, I think, yeah, I kind of remember crap gamer's thumbnails, so I can see that. Yeah, I don't really watch. I probably watched one crap gamer video in my entire life. So, I guess, is he still doing his thing? I guess. Yeah, Renee. I only agree with emulation when there's copyright issues. That's fine. Everybody has their thing, the nuance with it. My thing is, if I'm not going to buy, I'm never going to buy this game. There's no way for me to buy it. If there's a way for me to buy it, I buy it. I have bought sometimes the same game multiple times on different Nintendo consoles because they don't transfer over. So, but if there's no way for me to get it physically, that's what I use. That's what I want to do. I always want to own the game physically, so I don't look to emulate first. Emulation is like my second choice. Because I'd rather play it on the original hardware with the controller and all that good stuff. That's how I like to play my retro stuff, especially. So, because I can do that. But I have emulated games, but I don't do it to avoid buying them. I always try to buy it first if I can find it. And again, pricing. I'm not. What's the point of me giving somebody else $200? The company's not making that money. Only that individual who's upselling that game for $200 is making money. So if I just want to play it, then I'll emulate it. But if I do want it in my collection, I'll buy it. But again, me buying that used copy from Joe Schmo on eBay or whatever, nobody's making money off of that except for Joe Schmo. So it's not like the company is making money off of that game sale. So, but if there's a way to, that's my thing. If there's a way to pay the company for the game, I will do that first for sure. So yeah, I think that's it. I really appreciate you guys all joining me and rocking out with me here. Still got 17 people. I always hate to leave when there's a good amount of people. And to me, 17 people is a good amount of people. To some people, that's like, I wouldn't turn my camera on for less than 200 people. But, this is your guys' valuable time, your free time, and you choose to spend it with me. I'm cool with that. I appreciate that, guys. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed it. Nice little discussion here. I don't like leaving chat, good chat questions or comments unread. So I'm just going to quickly go through again to make sure. If it's super rare, Renee says if it's super rare game that's expensive, then yeah, I'm going to emulate it. Other than that, I won't. Yeah, that's pretty much where I am. Like even if it's super expensive, I might emulate it at first, but when I get the money, I buy it because I like to have that game in my collection. So, but I never emulate just to emulate. It's, there's a pretty solid reason for me to do it. Because again, I don't like to emulate. I like playing stuff on its original hardware. Like that's why I'm not so big on, I want GameCube games on Switch. And I mean, that's cool. It's a cool thing to have. But I'd rather just go play my GameCube. It's right here. It's hooked up. I can turn it on and play it on my HD TV, and it looks good. So, because I have converters and all that. So, if I emulate anything, it's what gen is that? 5th gen or 4th gen? Super Nintendo NES. It's that generation and below. I don't emulate PlayStation 1 games or N64 games, and I can easily. But I love my N64. I'd rather just have that controller in my hand and play it. I don't want to play that on anything else. I'm kind of an elitist that way. So Let's see. Yeah, I think that was it. I just went back. Yeah, I read that already. Let's scroll up and make sure I didn't miss anything pertinent here. Santiago. Yeah, it's crazy. We're almost 3 years in and we still don't have themes and folders, at least. Yes. That is going to be a separate video. I'm going to talk about that. And a lot of Nintendo fans don't like to hear that. And I don't understand. It only benefits you to have that stuff. I liked having that on my Wii U folders. We didn't get themes so much, but we had that. We had the personality from the Wada Wada Plaza. So that was some personality it gave. And you had the music, which was nice and soothing. I love that music. And the eShop was nicer. That kind of stuff. You know, I don't need the eShop to be what it was on Wii U. It would be nice for it to be better. But you know, it's hard to navigate. You know, it's tedious to navigate. What was it? What was I doing the other day that really annoyed me? Oh yeah, I was on the eShop and scrolling down, and once you click on a game to get a better look at it, and you back out, it shoots you all the way back up to the top of the list. You have to scroll down all the way over again, and I'm like, that is not a good setup at all. Like what that does is turn me off to searching, to scrolling through. It turns me off to doing it because the minute I check on something, oh, that looks kind of interesting, and I back out of it, I'm shot all the way back up to the beginning of the list. And that's just, you know, that's not cool for the companies who are down on that list and want your attention, you know? So they need to fix that kind of stuff. It's little in scope of what the Switch is and what it does, but it's a bunch of little things that really annoy me and, you know, take away from what the Switch could be. So yeah, let's see. Anything new now? Yeah, the eShop is not good. Yeah, says Renee. Defendos don't like constructive criticism. I hate to use that term defendo because it was used a lot of times against me back in the day. But the way it was used against me was BS. But I think bringing up legitimate criticisms for your console that you love, that you want to see better, you want to see these things fixed for the benefit of all of us. And we're all going to benefit from this. You're not going to lose anything from getting folders. You're not going to lose anything on your Switch from getting themes and giving it a little bit of pizzazz. You're only going to benefit from that stuff. So to get mad at people for bringing that stuff up, I mean, you got to call a person a defender at that point. I don't like to do it, but what else can I do? Like, I'm not getting on you. If you don't care, okay, fine. Move along. Don't say anything. But I care. And because I care, you want to like get mad at me for bringing it up. No, I'm not going to be cool with that. You know, you can not care, and I don't have a problem with you if you don't care about that stuff. I don't care about Netflix not being on Switch, but it should be. Like, I'm never going to use it, but a lot of people will. I don't use Hulu. I don't use YouTube on my Switch. I mean, I used it once a year ago when I was on a trip, but that was the only reason because I was on a trip and I didn't have my iPad. Like, because I left it with my kids because they like to play with it. That's, you know, but it still should have these features. It still should have this stuff, even if I'm not going to use it. You know, it's a digital device, tablet device that came out in 2017. You got to have this stuff at this point. You know, damn 3DS had Netflix. 3DS, and that came out in what, 2011? Come on, let's get real. Stop getting upset with people for bringing up legitimate issues. You can get mad at people for, the Switch should have every game on the planet. Yeah, you can get mad at people for that because it's not going to be able to do that. But playing Netflix, it should be able to do. It should be able to do stuff that the Wii U did, and I don't think that's too much to ask for. It should be able to have. It has Hulu. Why not Netflix? Why not Disney Plus? Why is it on Disney Plus? Maybe Disney doesn't care about Star Wars on Switch because Nintendo doesn't seem to care that there's no Disney Plus for Switch. Like, it's crazy. You want to make, because I call this system in the beginning the Switch Army knife of gaming. And you can't really call yourself that if you're missing features like this. You're missing apps like this. So they got to fix this stuff, man. And you got to stop complaining about people wanting them to fix this stuff. Then nobody will call you Defendo. Nintendo is making enough bank. That's not a problem. They've sold enough consoles. You can sit back and say things about the Wii U. Like, okay, well, it didn't sell very well and didn't have a lot of games and all that stuff. And you can let some of that stuff pass. You have an argument then. But you don't have that argument with the Switch. There's no excuse with the Switch. There's no, it didn't sell well. The tech is old. It's not. So, yeah. Renee, I think Netflix not being on Switch is more of a Netflix thing. I mean, I don't know. I wish I knew whose end, this is on. But at the end of the day, if Nintendo wants Netflix on Switch, they'll make it happen. You think Netflix doesn't want to be on another device? A device like the Switch? Of course it does. That's why I have to think it's on Nintendo's side. The initiative for that to happen is on their side. Because Netflix would be on your damn toaster if they could. They want to be utilized as much as possible. So it doesn't make sense for me, knowing what Netflix is, for them to be like, we don't want to, make an app for Switch. What? We can watch Netflix on Apple Watch. Like, why wouldn't they want it on Switch? A 52 million plus popular ass console. Of course they want it on there. I would think, unless they're stupid. So, I think it's Nintendo initiative. Hulu and YouTube are on Switch. So wasn't Netflix? Why isn't Disney Plus? Why isn't Crunchyroll? That was on Wii U. Why isn't WWE and stuff like that? This stuff, popular things that people use all the time. Again, I don't care. I'm never going to use any of that stuff on my Switch. I'm only playing video games on my Switch. That's it. And that kind of stuff I will use my iPad for, my laptop occasionally for, my phone even. But I understand why people would want that on their Switch. I get it. So anyway, that's it. Again, thanks guys for joining. Really appreciate it. Again, thanks for the donations from, let me scroll back up, Oak City Cameras and Shadow Boxing. Thank you. I appreciate that. I had an excuse to not stream. I'm actually gonna try to live stream games maybe tomorrow. But again, my setup isn't great for that right now because my PC is out of commission and my laptop isn't strong enough. But what I'm thinking is maybe I'll just stream like my old consoles, like maybe even GameCube and before, so that way I don't have to have like a HD quality image, and so my bandwidth and whatnot, all that will work out well. I don't know if I can use my camera at the same time. I'll have to figure out the setup because it's going to be like this for at least another couple weeks before I bother getting that CPU. Because I'm like, should I just upgrade my CPU now that I'm having issues with this one? Or should I just replace it with the same one, which would be cheaper? So I'm thinking of upgrading. So that's why I was like, I'm gonna get. I was gonna take a little longer, but in the meantime, I still want to be able to stream. I've been wanting to for the last couple of weeks, and I've just kind of been putting it off because I had an excuse, but I'm done with excuses. I'm not making excuses anymore. Pushing to the fullest. No more procrastinating. That is my new goal. That is my pledge in light of the tragedy. Like I said on Sunday, I said that in the video that I'm gonna be pushing myself and stop, BSing around. So that's what I'm gonna do. No more excuses. All right. I'm out of here. Thank you guys again. Be looking out for videos coming soon on all these topics, a lot of these topics we discussed. And peace.